At long last. Hello, SpeedGaming, and welcome to this SG presentation of the Link to the Past Randomizer Open League. Yeah, we're getting underway a little late today. There were some technical issues on the runner's side that needed to be sorted out, but this game will go forward. Hi, I'm MindDM. I am joined on the call by Blue Link, who is busy doing some cropping of tracking and so forth, so that we can bring this to you live. It'll be nice. In the meantime, of course, this is Longshots and Blackjack and Hookshots Game 3, a game which may or may not actually exist. This is a bit of a Schrodinger's game, in that Game 2 was a tie. And Game 2 has not technically been replayed yet, and is going to be replayed under circumstances based on the 4 runners who took part in the original Game 2 and their availability, which is all terrible. Well, guess what? The 4 runners we've got here, their availability is also terrible, so we're playing Game 3, which may not mean anything if Longshots win Game 2, which is going to happen afterward, because nonsense is happening, and that's fine. Anyway, right now we're playing Co-op Duality. Co-op Duality, a mode with 2 different goals. One player has 5 crystal, fast Ganon. The pyramid is open, collect 5 crystals, go kill the pig. The other player must pull the pedestal. This is a key sanity mode. There is a 1 crystal requirement to enter GT, so once you have mitts and some other things to get up there, pretty likely you're going to be fishing around in Ganon's tower basement for a few things you need, but not the climb. We have removed the GT Big Key. You cannot climb in this mode. You cannot open the GT Big Chest in this mode. It's fine. It tends to play out pretty quickly. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully you're on board for probably about 70 to 85 minutes worth of gameplay, because that's what you're pretty likely to get this evening. Tyler Salt and Dr. Earworm representing the Longshots in this game, quote-unquote 3, versus Vix Rider and Gray Corvid representing Blackjack and Hookshots, and we've got some Uncle starts, we've got some go north route into the village starts. It's the pretty usual co-op key sanity sorts of things that you expect to see.
Alright, I'm here. Sorry for the delay.
I can fill a lot of air.
Yeah, Game 1 was exciting, so I've heard Game 2 was even more chaotic. And here we are with a Game 3 that may not actually exist when all is said and done.
Game 2 was Inamizer. Game 2 will be Inamizer again. It will be Grey Corvid, Rabid Wombat on one side, and Tyler Salt and Homewrecker on the other. You have to keep the same pairs. If under whatever circumstances obtain, you wind up having to replay that game. You don't get to change the mode, you don't get to change the players, you're stuck with what you got.
And a quick note about Dr. Earworm's track. It's cut off like that on his stream.
Doc was unfortunately the one runner who was having some pretty substantial personal technical difficulties getting into this thing at all. So the fact that he's here and able to play the game, we're going to count that one as a win. We won't worry too much about what that tracker looks like. Since it's co-op info share, eventually the things that he has by and large Tyler will have as well, and that way we won't really have to worry about it, we hope.
Oh, and a sword.
Looks like Doc Earworm is going to take the Death Warp here and go check Dark Cross. Grey Corvid says, nope, you know what, I'm out. I've got better things to do than fish around in the dark for whatever's in the dark. Even though you've got a lamp, I guess Gray was kind of forced into killing the Green Guard down there, so he would have had to backtrack quite a bit to get something that would Death Warp him.
Yeah, also no bombs for a Death Warp either. That's unfortunate. And it's just a piece of heart.
Meanwhile, our village finders seem to have turned up some interesting things. We've got a fire rod, cane of Samaria, and mirror in inventory already. Looks like Doc isn't interested in those, though. Going to start in on these South Shore checks. You figure you have a sword, you don't have to worry about it all that much.
Oh, Uncle had...
It was a vanilla sword. That is not actually a setting for this mode, it's just a happy little accident that's where the randomizer put it. Vanilla swords is an awful setting, and every time it shows up in Mystery, everybody says, why does this even exist? And the answer to that, of course, is because it's Mystery. It exists to do terrible things to runners. Oh, interesting. So, Vix Rider, after picking up that sword, has come into Hyrule Castle, is going to steal this small key. What he's trying to do here is sequence break around needing a glove to get into the back of Escape. He's going to clean up that Dark Cross check that Gray was unable to Death Warp and go check, and then continue all the way to the back.
Ooh, this could be interesting.
Chances really are decent that there's just a glove accessible out here somewhere and that you kind of lose a little bit of time doing this, but not all that much, and it's possible that he sequence breaks around something nasty. So we'll find out here in a little bit. Tyler doesn't seem to be finding anything all that interesting in Eastern Palace just yet. Also not that interesting. We'll get the under bridge check here from Doc Earworm, see if that turns into anything more interesting.
Well, 300's useful.
Yeah, not bad in the grand scheme of things. Boomerang, cash money, and a small shield there in the back, and Okay. So where was the small key that Vix had to go steal a small key? Oh, right, it's key sanity. I'm dumb. We're seeing so few text boxes so far that I just put the key sanity aspect of this right out of my mind, Blink. It's like I forgot. See, there we go, it was right there. It was just in the dam the whole time.
Oh, we've got a book on Zora Ledge. Dr. Earworm is continuing. So he must have the means to flash delete this. Oh,
He's
wait,
just
he's
got
the flippers.
Flippers, yeah.
Yeah, that helps too.
Yeah, those work too. I think they're down here on South Shore somewhere. We'll see if Vix Rider doesn't just pull them out of Mini Moldorm Cave here.
Oh, there was also another sword. So that's where Dr. Earworm got that. So this is a pretty generous seed early on. Oh my! We have a Moon Pearl in the Eastern Palace big chest! Which I completely missed on Tyler Salt's side because he already has that.
Thankfully, Key Sanity, you don't suddenly think, well, I'm just going to go rush Aga, that's all I have to do, apparently. Now, that with 2 swords, you could theoretically wind up in a situation where you need to go pull something out of the first chest there, though. Looks like we'll probably see Tyler do very similar things to what Vix did, the difference being that he's going to know it's in logic and doesn't have to spend the time stealing that small key. And Doc's gonna give us new checks here, well, a new check and a site check. In Desert Palace map chest. Big key to Skull Woods. Well, that doesn't change anything. Could be interesting in that it looks like Blackjack and Hookshots may land on whatever the thing is in First Check Castle Tower before they get over to Desert Palace for 1 check. Because it's starting to look like whatever this first check is here, it's going to be our answer.
Could very well be.
Probably a glove or a boot to get up the mountain is going to be my guess.
Apparently there was a glove at Agina.
Oh, okay, so...
Oh, wait, we have the mirror, so that does give us a few checks up on the mountain.
Great with that classic, hey, wait, what? Moment where, alright, what does this game want us to do?
Oh, Vix is gonna go sell this good bee to get to 496 rupees. Oh no!
Vix, go left, my man, go left. You need to move left so that that statue is off the screen so the bee will follow you.
Well, that's awkward.
That is a little unfortunate.
Anyway, Grey Corvid's about to find that glove for his team. Tyler's still gonna go for a Houlihan here. This will give him enough with the 300 under the bridge to get Zora money.
I'm curious about what Vix is going to do to make up for that 100 rupees that he just didn't get. I think there may have been a little cash money in Eastern, and of course he does need to pick up that Moon Pearl at some point.
There is the rupee room in the back of Eastern, but I forget how much that is.
That is behind the big key.
Oh, that's right!
That's 90 rupees, but it's behind the big key. See a bit of play out of the mountain here. We get 50 bucks as a rescue thank you from the old man. Spec Rock is not really interesting.
Okay, Turtle Rock small.
Alright, I think that's our second one of those, question mark?
Looks like it. Alright, the big fish has... the hammer!
Alright, well, you're gonna need 500 bucks. Go fish.
Oh, Great Corbett doesn't have the book. He can't check Ether Tablet.
That is going to be a little unfortunate, potentially. We'll see when Doc Earworm gets over here just what it contains. Small cash money and nothing else. Say goodbye to Tower of Hera. Yeah, a little more cash money on Ether Tablet. That's not really game-breaking to Blackjack and Hookshots, although I don't know that they would turn it down right this minute.
Yeah, they don't quite know yet. They do need that 500 rupee package.
I think Ray's setting up a plan here. I think they may have started to land on the idea that whatever the fish is selling, they're gonna need it. I think we have Vix Rider here backtracking to the Rupee Rock. We're going to get a little rupee farming here.
Yeah, this will only take a couple of dips in and out. Could be worse.
Especially once Gray says, hey, come get 3 hundo under the bridge.
Did Vix already get that 300?
Vix may have already gotten that. Yeah, if he's at 4 hundo, he's already gotten that, almost assuredly.
Alright, so Dr. Earworm gonna go get his Moon Pearl. Both of Blackjack and Hookshots gonna go get their hammer. And Tyler Salt is continuing along in the Dark World here.
We had that nice early mirror, so it's really convenient to just kind of go along and scoop up all the checks as you go. Gray looks like he has plenty of money. Vix, after buying this, is going to be in a little bit of a tight spot for cash money for doing anything going forward. I wonder if Blackjack and Hookshots doesn't send Vix Rider up the mountain with this hammer, do the light mountain checks that are available once you have the mirror hammer combo, and hope that he gets some cash money while Gray goes and does the things that would still cost rupees. It's a thought. We'll see. Tyler, meanwhile, seems to have a cape and not much else to show for this so far.
Looks like Grey Corvid's going up the mountain. And
Okay.
Vix is,
Maybe the hope is that Vix can find the flute down here somewhere and spare himself the slow old man rescue. It's possible.
alright, everybody has a hammer now.
Dark World access for everybody. Let the fun and games begin.
Ooh, there's the ice rod.
One of those things that we're not necessarily guaranteed to need this seed. Now, once we find out what Turtle Rock is, pendant or crystal, then we'll know a little more about that. And the game's been kind of feeding us TR smalls anyway, so you'd certainly rather have it than not.
Oh, of course, the flute's just on the mountain.
Yeah, Vix, you're not going to get to skip the old man rescue. Flute's up there.
Alright, Tyler Salt gonna give us a look at the front of TR. Not TR, we were to Thieves Town, TT.
One of those T dungeons, it's fine. They're kind of fungible. They're both in the Dark World.
Okay.
The Eastern Palace, big key, okay.
Some assorted keys and maps. Maps are quite useful in this mode.
With the two differing goals, you definitely like to know what it is you're getting into.
We
Although
just
with
have a free hookshot in C-shaped house.
Okay, those aren't bad. And with the one crystal GT entry, it makes a lot of sense to just have a crystal, just in case. Even the pendant player is likely to need one. There was also a bottle in Hype Cave with that cape. That's not too shabby. Particularly if you wind up being the Kill Cannon player, you're not going to turn those down.
Oh, of course. Well, Moth is really not behaving.
Moth usually doesn't. Let's see how Vix handles it, though.
Nicely done.
That solves his cash money problems, and it's a pendant on the board. Ooh, we have Gray opening the floodgate here. Is this to pick up the sunken item, or are we actually going into Hookless Swamp? We're going into Hookless Swamp. Then Vix is going to tell him in about 2 minutes, the hookshot's over here.
This is a choice. Okay, that's the third shield.
Then Gray didn't even have the small key at all, so the fact that he didn't have the hookshot's not really a problem. He was just snagging this on the way.
It's a slow check, but, you know, it's burned people before. Skipping it.
And Grey Corv, of all people, is not going to turn down a shield.
I'm glad there are still some sensible people running this game.
Interesting that the Longshots seem to be converging a little bit here. And this is one of those checks that Doc Earworm has coming up. Alright, so the big key to Skull Woods not really meaningful. That early play into Desert Palace not going to yield dividends for the Longshots.
Well, we've got all four runners in the same sort of general area here.
Everybody's over here, interestingly enough. Nobody wants to go to Palace of Darkness for some reason.
Tyler Salt's gonna use that free green potion and just start using the fire rod. I like it. Oh, this is close. Okay, that'll do it. Well done.
Doc Earworm getting that Palace of Darkness small key out of Graveyard Ledge. Wonder if he and Gray are going to start kind of converging on a play over to Catfish and Pod here. Well, forget Catfish. Doc Earworm's just going to flute 5. That's fine.
So neither team has any real kind of lead here. But Pod could have some stuff, and it looks like we're going to have 3 smalls going in there on Dr. Earworm's corner and I guess Ray Corvid.
Yeah, 4 is the next logical breakpoint, but you can certainly get away with 3.
Oh, wait. Oh, no pod money for Dr. Earworm.
Ooh.
You were just talking about money being a problem. Oh no.
Now, I had mentioned that in reference to Vic's writer, and Vic seems to have largely solved his money problems, but yeah, Dr. Earworm coming up short of the funds needed to enter Palace of Darkness. So instead, going to take this Tower of Hera big key and go ahead and clear out Tower of Hera is what it looks like.
Okay, Eastern's Crystal. I thought we had the desert map, but maybe Vix doesn't have it. Boots in Hera Big Chest, okay.
That's exciting. I expect that Vix is going to find those fairly shortly with this start at Sank. I have to think this is his trip up the mountain to go get mountain things.
Yep, you know you're not getting get up there with the flute for a shortcut.
And you can hear the siren song of those boots. We've got Tyler Salt following Dr. Earworm directly up the mountain.
You know what? That is totally fair. Alright, Hera's Crystal, and yeah, that is 1 crystal now for Dr. Earworm.
Got a mimic clip here out of Grey Corbin, going to go with the bufferless strat that he is a whole lot better at than I am. Of course, I see him move cursed him with that.
Nicely done.
Big key to Swamp in Pod behind a bow.
And there's our 3rd TR small at Bonk Rocks.
That's exciting. We're still a little short of being able to use that, I think, but it's not nothing. Doc's going to go ahead and houlihan for the rest of this money to make sure that the seed can stop being terrible to him, but did not get his camera reset properly, and so that didn't work. The map to tower of information that Vix is going to get for the team here in just a minute anyway.
That's mildly unfortunate.
That's the right notch. I love how Vix completely botches the bread bowl. The easiest way you could teach your grandma how to do Harapop that way. And then does this double pixel perfect sub-pixel nonsense thing first try like it's absolutely nothing. But again, we hear the siren song of those boots. Great Corvid up the mountain.
So, where are we supposed to go now?
That is an excellent question, because we haven't pulled the... Gray didn't pull the mids out of pod and I missed it, right? That's not a thing that happened?
Looking at his tracker, no.
See, that's what I thought.
Hey, we could do Spike Cave.
Ooh, nobody wants to do Spike Cave, but we could.
I don't recall, nobody got a look at the Desert Torch, did they?
No, the only person who's been in there at all is Dr. Earworm, and Doc Earworm said no thank you to that. Pulled that big key to Skull Woods out of map chest, and then just kinda moseyed on out.
Okay, Dr. Earworm going to do a camera unlock with the Fairy Revival. But it didn't work. I know there's an additional complication, but I'm not sure what the details are.
It's not one that I'm familiar with either. I know it exists, but knowing it exists and knowing how to do it are two different things.
Okay, chat's saying you have to get knocked to the left, not be walking left, I guess, when you die.
Not be walking left. Okay, that makes sense. So you have to run into something while moving right.
Oh, we are getting Spike Cave.
Getting Spike Cave, we're also going to get King's Tomb out of Tyler's Salt here, I think.
Yeah, there's not much left. Oh, Catfish. Map of Turtle Rock's actually useful information. Another Podsmall, 4. That gives us logical information, but doesn't actually get us anything we couldn't already gotten.
So is the answer everybody was in a hurry to get to Pod and they skipped Catfish and now they're going to feel bad about it? Or is it going to be Desert Torch because Grey Corvid is going to give us a little new information there too?
Oh, Desert is pendant number 3.
Alright.
Catfish has a key, and it is to Skullwoods.
Okay, that doesn't change anything. Gray finding that big key to Skullwoods, probably not terribly happy with that.
It's a bow! Okay, that is a find. We can clear Eastern now.
And I wonder if that check is just a little out of sight, out of mind for Longshots right now, because Doc Earworm was in there, and you have to think, well, I was in there, and I got something, and it wasn't anything, so we haven't gotten a key for the place yet. Well, the boots are kind of, sort of a pseudo key to the place. Tyler using a bit of everything at his disposal to get that Palace of Darkness small key. And Dr. Earworm getting the information that it is not First Check Swamp.
Now, Tyler Salt does have one Castle Tower small from Dig Game. He can get both checks out of Castle Tower. In fact, I'd completely forgotten about that before. Oh yeah, and Vix has that same key. This is actually pretty efficient routing. No, just more money. And I think Dr. Earworm had made a point of going to get that key specifically.
One of those just in case kind of things, but not to be in this case. Gray having a little adventure with those knights.
That's the mids. Wow.
That is a very and we have Longshots converging on Eastern Palace Big Chest.
Oh no.
This is a bit of a problem if you're a Longshots fan. I don't think Desert Torch is even registering in their minds right now.
Alright, Vix is gonna go get that bow after cleaning up the extra checks. Which still very well could have been something else, but they just weren't.
Now, Blue Link, you were telling me that we have full pendant information at this point?
Yep. Pod, Desert, and Skull.
Ah, okay. So we're definitely looking for some big keys then, at the very least.
And I'm wondering, because the game's given us the big key and 3 smalls to TR, if we still are going to end up having to go in there.
It is worth keeping a bit of an eye on. We're definitely short some big keys to other places that we would need.
No, he's fleeting. Okay. I was wondering if Vix was going to go steal the Desert Small.
Vix is, at least in the early returns, having a pendant. Skull was a pendant, wasn't it? Or
Yeah.
did I just go completely mad when I saw him catch that? So it makes sense for him not to steal a Desert Palace small key and put himself in a very terrible position for clearing that dungeon.
Well,
It looks like Longshots have managed their bow location at long last, so I expect we're going to see them converge back on Eastern Palace, where they'll both find their mitts.
it's unfortunate they had to go make another trip there, but at least they didn't just completely forget about the torch and, you know, have to, like, review the tapes or something. So, you know, actually, Eastern having, or well, Armos having the mitts, if you didn't have a crystal, you would get a crystal from that and be able to go right to GT.
It's a convenient sort of route if you can make it work out for you.
Okay, Tyler Salt with a 4th TR small is gonna go to the bow-locked side. Was there anything he needed in here? I kind of forgot.
There was... I think the Swamp Big is over here, so the answer is we don't know.
Super Bunny Cave turning up the final TR small and the Mire Big.
Well, those are exciting. I can't imagine we won't see Gray going into Turtle Rock if Turtle Rock is a medallion that we've got. Those are some pretty free silvers in Hookshot Cave. There's that DP big that Vix is going to need.
And a complimentary GT small.
Gray thought about doing GT first, and I like this better. He's going to go have a look at Turtle Rock first and see if he can get in there, because that seems like a dungeon that the game is hinting very heavily that he ought to do.
Yeah, we've got all of the keys, both rods, Samaria. So what are the chances we just find Ether in GT here?
Seems pretty decent at this point, doesn't it? Vic's not finding anything in Mire Shack. He's probably already peeked Mire and I missed him do it.
He must have. That very vaguely looks like Quake on his tracker. Oh, and here's Bombos. Ooh, Dr. Earworm's gonna go to Ice.
Play directed ice. This is interesting when you have all of that density available to you up on Death Mountain. Now, with the one of the problems with having Doc Earworm's tracker off of his own screen so that we can't crop it properly is that, well, he's got a crystal because he had to get one out of Eastern. So the answer is not he's skipping the mountain because of reasons. He's just decided that Ice Palace is where he wants to be. And this could have been a little team meeting kind of thing. We kinda last located our bow to our mitts progression. Maybe we should make a little bit of an off-the-board play to see if we can't spike something we need.
Yeah,
That wouldn't
and
surprise me.
oh, I was gonna say as the pendant player, but Tyler Salt's the one with the pendant for their team. Now, I do kind of like Vix Rider doing these offhand checks because he's probably going to be the pendant player. And, yeah, actually, he just needs Ether and then to go pick up the Desert Big, and he will be able to clear his goal. So he's got extra time to kill.
And there are certainly things that he can find for Gray in addition to some keys. You certainly, as the Ganon Kill player, would not mind knowing where the Tempered Sword is if it's somewhere even remotely convenient to you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the chances are halfway decent that Gray's just going to pull a sword in either GT or Turtle Rock once he... Yep, there we go. Commentator's blessing on this travesty of a seed. So yeah, now Vix is really just looking for keys that help Gray go, while also kind of hoping that Ether falls into his pocket here somewhere. And this is where I would have been a little more tempted to have Vix come up the mountain as well and be doing these GT checks while Gray went in and did the TR checks, but that since you kind of got a bit spiked on the medallion there, yeah. Sometimes the game doesn't cooperate with what you want to do.
Alright, here's Cold Stare. Hey, half magic, you won't turn that down.
Certainly not. Doc Earworm kind of wishes he had that right now, although all the Cold Stare puffs are finally exploding.
And Grey Corvid is going to do Tile Room.
It's an awful long walk back. If that's where one of your required things is, you may as well grab it while you're here. I expect we're going to see Vix, on the other hand, just grabbing the things that he needs and absolutely nailing. It certainly seems unlikely that he's going to hear the siren song of that sword.
You know, this division could actually work out better for the Longshots because GT really hasn't turned up anything required. And that's time that Blackjack and Hookshots Crystal player has spent.
Oh, interesting. Vix is coming over here. Just to clean up Spike Cave, okay.
Was there a pod small here?
That sounds sort of right.
Okay, so Grey Corvid gonna go into Mire with the big key and clear it. He's also got ice clearable. That'll give him 4 crystals. Hey, wait a second. Earlier when I said Vix Rider was looking for Ether, that's completely wrong. He needs the pod big.
Ah, okay.
But Ether would be nice because it would give Grey Corvid the 5th crystal dungeon clear. The Mire Big was in Super Bunny Cave. It was free. Hey, there's Ether. That is, Let me double check my statement before I make it.
That's pod big go mode for Blackjack and Hookshots?
Yes. Oh, there were 2 bottles in ice. So that's how Dr. Earworm ended up at bottle percent.
That would do it.
And as a reminder to everyone watching, this is the one co-op mode in which the winning team is the one that has both players finish first. It does not use the average time. It's whoever is the second finisher on the team.
And of course that's due to the fact that they're not actually completing the same goal. One player is killing Yen and one player is pulling the pedestal, so you can get some wildly divergent finish times. Gray, why are we going this way? It's Sanity, my friend. I guess when you're on just a couple of hearts, you'd maybe like to hang on to your hit points and not take the warp back across. I feel like you're probably spending your safety anyway if you have it though, so
Okay, Tyler Salt gonna go for his second pendant right now. Okay, so this is gonna be Dr. Earworm's 4th crystal. Oh, Vix hasn't even been into pod, and I really can't read that, but it looks like a 5 pod small, because he found another one in ice, so it must be 5. Yeah, it's 5. Okay.
Yeah, that's 5.
So we can check the vanilla big key chest.
If there's a vanilla big key for pod in pod, that's a little disgusting. And I do like what Tyler is doing here just a little better in that he is he's completing dungeons that he needed to complete anyway, while also putting himself in a position to make checks. Whereas Vix is in a dungeon that he's not going to be able to complete.
And he doesn't even need Quake, so I'm not quite sure what his intentions are. Does he want the swamp big? We still don't have the swamp small.
Yeah, he's collecting the swamp big, interestingly enough.
That's all he came for.
And leaving. He came to open the place and get swamp. That's... I don't like it, but I'm not playing.
We're gonna have to ask him about that, because he must have had a reason for that, and I'm not sure what it was. Oh, we Meyer and Hera were the 5/6s.
Yeah, you get a bug net and not much else for that. I have to assume that this is Gray's play to the rock.
Yep, Gray does have all the keys, we confirmed that earlier. So he's got to do this, and then he can do ice. He knows ice is empty except for cold stare. I guess he can just grab the free blue potion out of Pengator room, and then just go to cold stare.
That is a bit of a... It's a bit of a time sink unless you really think you need that blue. If you feel like you need a blue anyway, it's going to be faster than flipping to 2 and going and buying one, of course. But when you've got the silvers and tempered sword and half magic, you're probably not going to be all that concerned about it in the grand scheme of things. I would expect him to skip it. In fact, I'll give him some grief if he does not.
Fair enough. Okay, so Vix is now up to 2 pendants. Just needs that pod big. I'm so confused. What did we forget in Meyer that was worthwhile?
The ether to get into TR was here, was it not?
Oh!
And I think that's all B&H has left.
That's a great point, yeah.
Either directly, or there's a swamp small in here that takes us into Swamp Palace, or what a thieves big that takes us into the back thieves. Something is in here. It has to be.
Yeah, okay, that's quite the chain then. You need to go get Quake out of pod to get Ether, to get into TR, to get something that will eventually lead you back to the pod big.
That's sure what it's looking like anyway.
Okay, so Chad pointed out Dr. Earworm had done something similar going into pod for Quake. So, looks like he's got the same idea here.
So, we've been at this for an hour and 5 minutes, and everybody's going to converge on Turtle Rock.
Lovely. Oh wait, he's opening Turtle Rock. Maybe he doesn't have all the keys? Okay, that's actually only Vix's third TR small, but Gray is gonna check Lava Chest. A mushroom.
You don't even know if you need it or not. Oh. Video game, please. What are we doing here? If you're Vix, you probably bypass that until Gray can tell you whether or not what you need is further in the dungeon. Pod small, that doesn't change anything at this late date. It's a nice logical piece of information. The Arrow of Destiny in Mimic Cave, it's a pod-related item, but it's not the one we're looking for.
Yeah, a little hard to pick a lock with a single arrow.
I don't know, just use the silvers and blow the door off. Works well enough on everything else in this game. I don't know why you can't use the key.
You know, I guess a super missile joke is appropriate given we're listening to Metroid music now.
Great.
Did we just skip?
We just absolutely skipped that. That's a very interesting choice. I don't have an explanation for this. I guess he's trying to get... Oh, no, he's going to kill the boss to find out whether or not Vix needs to backtrack and get this mushroom. And Vix can do everything else with the keys that he has.
Oh, that is a good point. Yeah, and even if the pod big is there, Vix needs it and Gray doesn't. Okay, Dr. Earworm is going to... Okay, I guess this makes sense.
because now no matter what the answer is, Gray can just leave and go get another crystal somewhere. And Vix can find the keys.
Ice small, okay. Alright, so Gray needs to do his 5th crystal dungeon. Dr. Earworm is going to pick up his 5th crystal here. Wait, Vix never picked up the lamp? And Tyler Salt, neither of them have the lamp. I mean, not that they need it, but it is kind of funny.
And mushroom turn in. Not the answer, so we're not going to see Vix backtrack for that.
And is Laser Bridge the answer? Oh, look at this sink. Oh, well, they broke it. The desert small. Oh, there's the pod big. That is go mode.
Oh, this
Okay, so,
is
my
gonna
goodness.
get really fancy in a hurry.
So Tyler Salt needs to get that and beat Pod, but Vix is slightly ahead of him. Oh, wait. That's unfortunate.
Ooh, Tyler taking a laser there, was that?
I think so. Yeah, his cape, he ran out of magic. Oh, this is going to cost him some time now. And
I'm
the
not
Ganon
sure that
fights are not
time
going to take
Longshots
that
had.
long. So, a reminder to everyone who was not around at the start of this race, this is technically Game 3, but Game 2 was a tie, and they're going to have to re-race that. So, effectively, this is Game 2.
But because of the way League works, it's a game that may not exist if Longshots wins that replayed Game 2, which will once again be Randomizer with Gray Corvid and Rabid Wombat for Blackjack and Hookshots, and Tyler Salt and Homewrecker for Longshots. It really is the Shots series, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So that is crystal number 5 for Dr. Earworm. Dr. Earworm is ready to go fight the big whenever he is good and ready, and I expect that answer is going to be just as soon as this cutscene lets him go. There
All right,
is
Tyler Salt.
Popping.
Gray Corvid is going to be getting crystal number 5 and be a little bit behind Dr. Earworm. Dr. Earworm is still on Master Sword.
And Dr. Earworm is stopping off for some potions because of that as well.
So I think this is actually going to come down to Gray versus Tyler, actually. Alright, that's Cold Stare down. Alright, Vix has defeated Helma. This is gonna be close, I think. Like, it's gonna be a Ganon versus Helma race, which is something I don't think we've seen frequently.
Going to be exciting, no doubt about that. Yeah, I don't know that it's going to be as close as the original Game 2 was, but we'll take this. These are the kinds of races that you want when you put a thing on the restream and you say, well, here's what we're gonna do. And this is one of those advantages that Gray has as the runner who went in and fished around in GT. That extra sword and that half magic, absolutely going to pay dividends for him here.
Mm-hmm.
Missing the one cycle phase 1, but in perfectly free position for the one cycle phase 2. Doc is still in phase 2 here.
All right, there is the ped pull for Vix. Let's get our G in chat.
As both Gray and Dr. Earworm enter phase 3 of Ganon, Gray slightly ahead. And Tyler is running into Helma's room right now.
Wow, so my assessment was pretty off.
Apparently this is a rather uncooperative pig for this last hit in phase 3.
All right,
Graves
two
just
more
going to
silver
set up for a
arrows.
double here.
And that'll do it. Grey Corvet's going to finish in second place, and the Blackjack and Hookshots are going to take game 3, which is effectively game 2. Their team official time will be 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 40 seconds. And Dr. Earworm finishing off Ganon right behind Grey Corvet. Tyler Salt just needs to flute and run to ped. Alright, and this will do it. The Longshots will finish with an official time of 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 41 seconds, just a minute and 1 second behind.
Not exactly the 1 second difference that we had in game 2, but still, it's tough to turn that down. Like I was saying as we were watching the finishes come in, that's the kind of race you want to see if you're just a fan of the rando. And we are joined by our victors in this. Great Corvid, Vix Rider. Good game, gentlemen.
GG.
Oh, thank you, GG's.
Thank you, GG. Oof. Was it pod big for their go as well?
It was.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I felt bad doing Tile Ruby GT, but I'm like, ugh.
You don't want to leave that one behind.
No. But
So,
Vix made a good call, just
actually
telling me to
worked out on our favor.
forget the rest of TR and just go straight to the boss.
Yeah, I wondered if that was an intentional play because of the number of keys that Vix had.
Yeah.
It was with the mushroom being in lava chest. I'm like, I'm right on Gray's tail. Go to the boss and let me know if I need to A, beat Helma, or B, go get the mushroom. And I will clear out the rest, but it's going to take me a bit to catch up. So and you will have an easier time beating Trinex with tempered and half magic.
Yeah. Oh my god, the Triforce was on the pad? Holy shit.
Oh, why did you forget to check when you were there earlier?
Oh, I suppose I could have. I had the book. Yeah. Could have read the pad. I don't know. I felt fine with the route. I totally forgot where the Ice Palace Big was.
Thank God we didn't need that.
That was not needed. Oy. And this win feels a little weird because it may count, it might not count. We don't know. Depending on race 2 again.
Yeah, it's a shame I missed game 2, but looks like Jesse in chat has put a link to that race. So if anyone wants to watch that, please do.
It was a very good finish. That was quite exciting. I did watch it, some of it back, and yeah, that was a bit crazy. All 4 of us in GT.
It's all you could ask for at this stage of the tournament.
Yeah, everyone's really good and very difficult to beat, and yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. As I understand it, we have to do co-op Randomizer again for Wombat and I. We just haven't been able to schedule anything. For all the marbles, yeah. It's continue on in open league and get that guaranteed invite to invitational.
I was telling Gray we're gonna do our job tonight to force a game 2. So.
You seem to have managed that much.
We managed that much. We forced a game 2. Yeah. Oh. I didn't expect I'd be racing 3 races. This stage of the open tournament, but yeah. Is there anything else about that seed?
Not really, other than just being kind of railroaded early on with the hammer and the book being at Zora Ledge. There really wasn't a way to split up until like 25-30 minutes in, which felt bad.
Yeah, if we can scrub my Armos Knights fight in Eastern Palace out of SpeedGaming, that'd be helpful, please. That was just a mess.
Well, at least you had enough arrows.
I had enough arrows. Yes, but that was just an absolute gong show. I haven't done that bad on that fight in a while.
Vix, how did you feel about getting betrayed by your bee like that?
Oh, it is the second time in this playoff series that's happened to me. It happened to be in Cross Keys the other day too.
Vix, there's a really easy fix for that. When the bee flies over to the statue, just walk left.
Noted. Thank you.
That's literally it. Just walk left until that statue's off screen, and the bee will start following you again. It'll go right to the bottle vendor.
Oh, and Vix was asking me, how do you do bread pot?
We saw that. And then he did the old style cursed double pixel perfect. No, he's just like, oh no, this is easy. I'll do this right now.
Look, I admittedly, I don't practice a lot. When I play, that's my practice. So I'm just going to go with the one I know. So, and the one I know worked even with the crunchy D-pad. So I'll take it.
But all things considered, aside from the chain to that pod key, after you get kind of breadcrumbed around in the early game, you get to go split up, but then you get to everybody converged right back on TR at the hour and 5-minute mark because once again the game just kind of funneled back down.
Yeah, funneled us right in there. There was absolutely nothing in that GT except for a sword, and I think that was it.
The sword and the half magic wasn't too bad.
Oh yeah, half magic, that was nice. Yes.
What is interesting is I was actually worried going to GT was going to cost you, Gray, because it was the Longshots pendant player who went in.
Oh,
and so Dr. Airborne was a crystal ahead of you for most of it, but then it turns out you passed him during the GT fight because of the sword advantage.
Oh, he didn't. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, Doc also had to stop off for a couple of blue potions because no half magic, no third sword.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. Still, an entire crawl through GT just for a sword and half magic. I'll take them, but
if you'd known that was all that was in there, you wouldn't have gone. But
I wouldn't have
having gone, you'll take what you perceived.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know when we're doing Race 2 redo again. It might unfortunately end up being an async. I'm not sure yet. I have to try to figure that out. No, I know Tyler Salt's time is very limited, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Stuff. So So it might be an
That's
async,
all for you to
unfortunately.
decide. I've done my work
You're
for
done.
this series.
You've done your
so
work.
You guys get to figure that one out.
Yeah, get to figure that one out. Oh well. Thank you to SpeedGaming for hosting, and apologies for the delay as well.
Yes, and thank you very much for the comms from my Andy and Blue
Yes.
Link.
Thank you.
Appreciate all the
entire
work
crew.
that goes on in the background for all of
Yeah.
this. So
Yeah, you're welcome. We had fun. Blue Link,
Good.
I had
Yeah,
a blast.
we sure did.
I was gonna say it seems the most important thing is we put on a show for the 3 races that we've played.
Yes.
So sometimes it's all you can ask for.
Yep.
I don't think there's anybody who's going to be denying that, especially not if they caught the original game too. But yeah, with that, I think we're kind of reaching the end of this one. Now, this is the last game on the schedule for today, and for tomorrow, I believe there is only one game on the schedule at the moment. That is an Invitational League game that does not yet have a channel, but that's going to be Game 1 between Crystal Roller Crew and don't forget to track us. They are going to be playing co-op cross keys. It's technically Game 2 according to the notes, but it's going to be the first one played because, well, that's how this goes sometimes. This may be the time to point out that Crystal Roller Crew, due to very happy life circumstances on the part of one of their regular members, has made a substitution.
Oh,
Armalix will be replaced going forward for this season on Crystal Roller Crew by Allison. So everyone can congratulate Armalix. I will not say what for. That's for him and his teammates to share if they deem it so valuable, but Zafikel and Alisoon versus Flipheal and Ike here in co-op cross keys tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That is the next league game on our schedule. With that, Blue Link, I'm going to leave the final word to you, but I think it's about time that we get on out of here.
yeah. Thank you, runners, for putting on an excellent show as usual. Thanks, Mind Team, for joining me. It's been fun. We've done 3 races in the last week-ish.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, we hope everyone enjoyed the race. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.